another episode of Outcasts to Icons. Now, in our last episode, we had our first league game of the season, a 1-1 draw at home to TPS, and frankly, I felt like we were not so much lucky, but I feel like we played better once we actually dropped our player back into defensive midfield, and we started to look a lot better at that point because we had our backs against the walls and we were just able to absorb pressure and got that late equaliser, earn our first point. Well, not our first point as manager because we did get that draw against VPS, but first point with our own natural tactic from this save. I used my other tactic for that. So, yeah, I said I was going to try the DM for some more games and see how things go, and that's exactly what I've done. Now, before I get into that, though, of course, I have a question of the day, and we've not done this for like a week and a half because obviously with the way things have been going, but I wanted to get back to the old question of the day style stuff. So basically my question of the day is kind of save related though, so you'll understand it. Is essentially this: are any of you guys currently, or have you done saves similar to this? Perhaps not with the same amount of leagues on, but like, you know what I mean, the same kind of concept where you just turn on everything and start with the lowest. And if so, what happened in your saves? How are they going right now? Do let me know. I'm kind of curious. I always love these types of saves. Like my favourite ever save, I don't know, actually probably changed now, but up until this year was my FM14 save with Uni Aldo Madeira that I ended up as a result of trying to do something like this. Then I did Iceland and Bulgaria. It was always I just love these types of saves because they're always different. That's the great thing about it. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. This is going to be completely unique, and I really like that kind of thing. You know, the concept, of course, isn't original, and, you know, it's never going to be the same as a Pentagon Challenge or anything else, but the fact is, I like that the permutations it throws up make everything just complete. You know, it is what you want it to be, and what I want it to be, we're going to try and tell a story about Norm and his quest for managerial success, essentially. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's jump in and see what's happened this month. Now, I said I was going to try that tactic, and we did. Away from home this month, we went to MyPar, and bear in mind, MyPar are currently right up there in the league, so they're having a good time. And as you can see there, Antonio Intule scored. He was put in behind, scored, made it 1-0, and we were able to just sit, basically, for the rest of the match and grind out a 1-0. It ain't pretty, but it works. We, as you can see, did play a defensive midfielder in this game, and it worked. We got our first win as a manager in the league, which was just glorious, and we didn't concede a goal, which is always nice. And that's sort of a common theme you're going to notice this month, is the lack of goals conceded. Now, obviously heavy rotation because of the way that the games have come so thick and fast. It's almost like you need two squads at times, and that's kind of what we've done. I'm glad I brought in so many players, and I think that's given us a little bit of an advantage in places, because as you'll see, like, their striker, like, they just don't look quite as fit as what we do at the moment. Even though we're still not great, we look that little bit better. I actually made a triple substitution in this one because oh yeah, no, sorry, we got an instant injury. No, we didn't. What am I talking about? I brought on Gronruz, and he then got injured 10 minutes later, which was a pain. We actually finished this game with 10 men and still managed to win. So that was a bonus. That was a little bit extra, and that showed some strength for me. Next game, we're at home against JJK, and unfortunately, Perty Saxman put them in front. But then we really did bring the funk, so to speak, and Amos Ekhali managed to level things up for us. Now, I'm beginning to wonder if perhaps playing the defensive midfield situation at home might not be the best approach, because I find it's making us a little bit too defensive and it's causing teams to get on top of us. That being said, I still think we're unlucky not to win this game. But it was a draw nonetheless, got us 5 points on the board after 3 matches, and yeah, unbeaten as well, which is kind of crucial. In our next match, we were away, this time at one of the struggling teams in the league. My point is, we went there, didn't play all that well, and we still came away with the win. Yunus Rahimi, basically it was a long ball knocked over the top from Lucas de Santos Oliveira, and it was a header from literally just outside the D from Rahimi as he lobbed it over the goal, on-rushing goalkeeper with his head, and made it 1-0, and we were able to hang on for yet another victory. And that's 2 away games in a row that we'd won and hadn't conceded a goal, which is always a bonus. Next up, we went away again, this time to PS Kemi, sort of mid-table club, and once again we did it. And look at the stats for this game: 3 shots to 4. I mean, Jesus. But Yunus Rahimi made it 1-0, and we did the business. So the issue I'm having here is, those of you who watched my Sweden or Bust series, and I mean, I'm literally talking to about 10 people here when I say this, if you recall, when we started off, we were very solid, but we couldn't score, and that was fine, but we do need a little bit extra sometimes. And the way the league is shaping up at the moment is, oh, that's not good. The way the league is looking at the moment is like this: we are 3rd in the league, 2 points off the top. We've got 11 points from our first 5 games, which is a really solid return. Unbeaten in the league as well, which is always nice. So it's not too bad, and we're playing against TP-47, who are down there sort of towards the lower end of the league, so I'd like to think another win is on the cards today. Now, the issue is, we've got the best, or joint best, defensive record in this league, along with KTP, but only 5 goals scored in 5 games. We've actually got the second worst attacking record. We've scored in every game, though, but only once, and that's the issue. So I'm just wondering, maybe today we should try and revert back to an extra man in midfield, just to give us a little bit more of an attacking threat, perhaps. Just push Halma back into the centre of midfield for today's game, since we are at home. And I'm just wondering if maybe defensive midfield works well away from home, but perhaps if we push up and have 4 across the middle when we are at home to try and get a bit more control over teams, since we are a better team. I'm just thinking that this might be the best approach we can take. We're certainly not having as many shots as we were in pre-season, but we're getting a lot more ratio on target, which is kind of what I want to see. And the fact is, we're winning games. 11 points from our first 5 matches is good. We're only 2 points off the top. We've started strongly. The squad is getting a bit shitty though. Like, I'm still getting things from players that I've never heard of, like that aren't even listed as my player. I've got quite a big first team squad, and I've moved a load of players down to the B team as well. But I was still getting players coming to me and saying they wanted first team football, and you know how it is. But it's starting to upset the squad harmony now, and that's worrying, because the last thing I want is for us to be doing well in the league and then the board to sack me because of squad harmony, because some idiot 16-year-old player wants to be getting first team football all the time, and there's just every time someone's come to me, I've tried to fob them off, as you always do, and it usually works, and not once has it worked so far. And I'm just wondering if that's because of my managerial stats, that they're not going for it, and that could be a problematic thing that we didn't anticipate. So there's that. Let's take a quick look at the old squad so we can see who's got what. So top goal scorers, Halma, Kohonen and Rahimi with 2 apiece. Not that there's going to be a lot on that. Assists, still, nobody's got more than 1 assist, but there is a lot of them. Player of the match, oh, wait, what am I talking about? Nope, someone does have 2 assists. Oliveira and Gronruz have actually got 2 assists each. Top scorer is Oliveira with 3. Man of the match, quite a few man of the match, but no one's really stood out. Yellow cards, Halma, who's out for a little while now, and Idatule is actually out injured too, as is Quauto. That's one of the issues as well, with the fact that they don't seem to be gaining any match fitness for some weird reason. Like, for example, see, we have one player that's actually got good match fitness, and I don't know why a lot of them aren't. We've also got a guy here called, I've just signed him up, called Tobias Wentin. Now, Scout brought him to me. I thought, okay, the problem was they wouldn't sell him to me unless we put a loan back for a year clause into his contract, which is disappointing, but I think he could be solid in the future as well. And he's going to get some game time too, so I can't fault that. I might have to send some of these guys out on loan. The problem is we really probably will need them because of how intensive this league is. Average rating, Kohanen's still right up there, and we've got a few players above 7, which is always nice. Aerial challenges, 9 is the best. Key passes, 21 for Oliveira. That's good. He looks like that main sort of creative force. What's his vision like? I'm just kind of curious. It's not great. Like, he's he's got a lot of flair. He's got good first touch, and he's good at dribbling. I might even add a dribble instruction for just specifically for him to get him to run at people a little bit. Interceptions, 80 already for Mittunen, and of course value at the moment is Ekali at the most. So let's take a look at the tactics. So basically that's what I've been using, and it's been working, but not at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push Halma back up into the midfield, keep him as a deep line playmaker on defend, but as a slightly more advanced one. That's the plan. We can just sort of move him up and down. I wonder if that's going to work. So let's just do a quick pick, and it will shovel some things around a little bit. Rahimi again is the sort of first choice man up top. So what I'm going to do though is we're going to go into player instructions, and we're going to set which one is it? Oh Christ, I'm trying to think who I'm talking. Right, it's this lad here. Lucas dos Santos Oliveira. I want to do some specific instructions that only apply to him, because I don't want everyone else doing this if they're not good at dribbling, basically. So we're going to add a selected player. We're going to have him on shoot less often because we just have that, and have him on dribble more, because I just think that could make the difference. Because he's got decent dribbling, especially for this level. So I just want to see if maybe that'll make any difference and get him to run at people a little bit. So that's a little bit of a theory. So you're just seeing a little insight. I've got some player instructions. I've got a lot of them on shoot less because just they weren't doing very well. I might actually take it off of my striker because we do kind of want him to shoot a little bit more. But I would like him to... Actually, I might take it off of these two and keep it off the wingers, because these guys I want shooting. These two, not so much. We'll just try that out for today. I'm just trying to tweak things on the fly, essentially, and hope that we can... I don't know, we just need a good result today. We need to win our first home game, basically. We've come up against various different formations. That's yet another new one. I really don't know how we're going to cope against it. They've got 5 in midfield, so perhaps having that extra man in there might be quite useful. But they've got a back 3, which means our width could be quite helpful. Then again, they've got those wingers, so who knows. That's the 3rd time I've had to click that. The club, they're getting a bit more familiar with the tactic as well, which is useful. I just want to see us score more than 1 goal. But frankly, today I would settle for just winning a home game. Unfortunately, we don't have the same kind of effect over the team as well at the moment because we're such a poor level manager. I would like to take a little gander at potentially seeing how to get your coaching badge. I've never done it before, so I'll have to have a look. Right, TP-47 aren't that good in the league at the moment, so I would like to think that today is a game that we should be winning. And if we can win it, I would be very confident about our season going forward. You know, start winning home games as well, and all kind. Oh, this is going to go in. Free kick, rebound, goal. Lovely stuff. Perfect way to start the game. If in doubt, and you're ever doing really well with keeping clean sheets, don't worry, you'll see one of these eventually. That's not good, but this is what's happened in kind of all our home games so far. We've gone behind, and now we've managed to level things up. So I'm not particularly bothered at the moment. But if things continue to look poor, I might have to start taking action. Lati, bola to Baji. Into Hapala. Nahile. Uh-oh. This tactic seems to be working quite well. I've not come up against this one so far. What was that? We've got 3 men out there, but nobody's managed to put a damn tackle in. Oh, come on now. That's offside, thank God. Okay, we've not started well. Considering how good we've been over the last few games, certainly at keeping other teams out, we dropped quite deep there. I wasn't sure if that was offside. No, he is. Just about. They played the offside trap quite well, though. I'm not prepared to jump to conclusions just yet, though, because we are starting to come back into it, as you can see here, but I'm getting a lot of possession to almost absurd levels, and that makes me wonder what else we could do here. If we're getting this much of the ball, they're obviously playing quite a lot on the break, so we'll just have to see. We're a goal down, we're on attacking, we're getting a lot of possession. Where do we go from here? What do we change at half-time? I'm just wondering, perhaps we should push our midfielders up into the right and left into sort of attacking midfield roles. Just to give us a... I mean, look at this. They're not... We should be doing better than this. Right, let's see. I'm just wondering if maybe pushing these two up to here... Okay, it's going to bring that down a little, but might just make a little difference. Maybe bring on... Jovinen, perhaps? Yeah, okay, we'll bring him on. Maybe slot him into the centre, actually, and just move him back into the middle. I'm not sure. If I'm honest, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what we're doing here. Hitting early crosses. I might just exploit the flanks a little bit more in this second half and try to... Since we've got them at a more advanced position, it might be wise if we try to use them a bit more. We're still on attacking. Let's just go for it a bit more in this second half. Exploit ourselves attack-mindedness a little bit better. Although it appears to have not worked very well so far to start with. It's that damn formation. I just don't know what to do. Maybe it is a case of maybe we do need a defensive midfielder in this particular case. Maybe we've got the right idea with just having that defensive midfielder. Maybe that is our sort of system, using him. Do we have a DM on the pitch? We do at the moment already have someone that can play there, so I can make the change if I want to. In fact, I'm tempted to do it. Now, I know I've made all my subs again, but sometimes you just have to. What I'm tempted to do is push Ekali back into that role. Just drop him a little bit deeper. Maybe move Santos back across again. I don't know. I'm sort of clutching at straws a little bit here at the moment because it's just not happening for us just yet. Right, here we go. Oh no, that's their bloody highlight, isn't it? Orlo. I just don't know how to cope with their system. There's a lot of different formations in this league. That's what I would say, and that's causing us some problems. We know where this ball is going. He's going to slip it right. There's 2 of you there. You should never be letting them... Well done, defender. Win the second ball. That is great defending. Genuinely brilliant play. Korhonen, ball up to Dos Santos. That's a poor ball, though. Poor flick on. We're not getting enough of the ball. That 5 in midfield has really hit us hard. It's a dominant thing. With that extra man in midfield, they're getting great tackle again. Please don't foul him. Oh, come on! Damn it. That's the issue. And now considered a penalty as well. This is a disappointing one. We just don't seem to be able to play well at home. We've won every single away game without conceding a goal. But at home... Ooh, it's not looking good, right? We're going to put it on overload anyway, even if they score, which of course they will because it's a penalty. Ooh, this has not been good from us. We've been very, very poor. Now, what can we change here? I'm not even sure at the moment, guys. It's such a strange system. We've got our defensive midfield on the pitch now. We've got... What can we change? What is there to change at the moment? It's a difficult one. Drop them back, perhaps? I know that's weird, but it will improve the... I'm a little bit, lost at the moment. It's been a very poor performance from our standards. We've been decent this year, and I'm thinking that defensive midfield option is definitely... Rahimi's through here. Go on, Rahimi. Go on. Oh, what a save. And on the rebound, and on the rebound, and oh... Good little chance there towards the end, but not enough. We need more of that kind of play, and I'm thinking that this is the tactic we need to be using with the defensive midfielder, and that's a good bit of clearance play again. Don't give him another goal. Oh, Gray there. There's a lot of Anglo names in teams I've noticing. We've looked a lot better since we've switched to that tactic. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so a little experiment here was unsuccessful. I think maybe we were just a little unlucky in those home games. Oh, come on now. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is a shocker of a performance. I really have to say, I was so looking forward to this live com because we've done so well this month, taking all those points, and then to have this happen. But I guess that's my fault for switching the system. I just felt that at home we weren't quite getting enough purchase on games, but I think the tactic we're using now, other than the shocking defending and goalkeeping we've just experienced there, is actually our best tactic, and I think that's what we're going to use going forward. Other than the shocking performance in that one game, I think things are positive. You know, we're still only 3 points off the top of the league. Yes, they need a right bollocking. Well, sorry, but yeah, they do. They need an absolute bollocking for that kind of performance. We're not exactly, you know, we're not doing badly. We're still only conceded 5 goals, but 3 of them in one game is disappointing, I have to say, considering how good we've been defensively this season. That system just did not work for us today, and I expect to go back to the way we were playing before and hopefully kick on from that. We might just have to be, you know, it ain't pretty, but it works. If you've got an idea that ways we can maintain that same level of defensive solidity, but be a little bit more of a threat going forward, and maybe get 2 or 3 goals in games rather than just 1, then please do drop a comment on this video, because I'm a little bit unsure of things at the moment. So let's see what we're going to be picking up for our next game. As you can see, we've got another game coming up incredibly soon, and this is my point about, you know, the squad depth is so important for us in these games, because we're getting a lot of injuries just because of the sheer amount of times players are having to play. Thankfully, Oliveira hasn't picked up an injury, and he's the crucial one for us. Let's take a look at the schedule. What's up next? May is looking pretty damn tight at the moment. So how many goes? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We could always come back and do my part for the next one. We've played them before, of course, because there's very few teams to play. We've got PK35, who are a really poor side by this league. So I think they're the bottom club, yeah. But we've got Olu and PK. Those are 2 important games. We need to win both of those if we can. And then we've got crucial ones against KTP and TPS. Actually, I'll tell you what I might do. Since TPS are doing so well, I might livecom that one instead, because it's a crucial one at the top, and I think that'll be more interesting to watch, if I'm honest. So guys, if you like what you're seeing and you like the way things are going, I'm starting to get into this a bit more now, and I hope you are as well. We're starting to build a team, we're starting to get a few wins under our belt, and I'm hoping that this will be a successful season for us, because after all, our contract is up at the end of the season, and, you know, maybe the board won't decide to renew it. I'd like to think that they'll give us a chance, but I think depends. If we go up, I don't know how it works. I think it's 2 up. Actually, let's have a quick look. Is it 2 up? I think it's just 1 up, and then maybe 1 in a playoff or something. So it's going to be tough to get out of this league, particularly if someone starts to run away with it. So there you go. So if you guys like what you're seeing, please do drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Red Star and Outcast icons in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for what is going to be a crazy crunch game away at TPS. I believe they're based in Turku. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.